You too.
Nope. Mengucci on the play. Mishra's Bauble. Take a look at your top card. Didn't get to see it. Underground C. Pass draw. Alright, a Flooded Strand for Bill. Fetching. Delver of Secrets. Alright, so first creature is on the board. For Bill. 1 point for Bill.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Pass.
End of turn, I'll look Cling to Dust your playing. It was awesome.
Okay, end of turn, Cling to Dust your land. Some of you may have forgotten about Cling to Dust. I think about it all the time.
Savannah, and then I'm going to cast a green Sun Sealer for 0.
You got it. Dried Arbor.
Dried Arbor.
Alright, a Brainstorm here.
Trigger goes to 2. Ancient Tomb, Mox Opal. And pass.
Looks like Mengucci has a fetch in hand to shuffle some cards away. I think so.
Yeah. Just going to go for it here.
Yep, there it is. Fetching a Volcanic Island.
Yep.
I'm at 18, and then I'll pass it.
Next up, I'm going to go to 18 and make a...
And now a Ponder. So setting up some draws potentially in the future. Looking at, though, Daze, Wasteland, and... Okay.
Yep.
And,
Draw.
turn. Draw. Trigger.
Delver doesn't flip for Bill. Flooded Strands. Attack for 1. The life totals in the top might be a little bit hard to see with our overlay. Let's just put them on the bottom. Make it a little easier. Alright, a second Delver for Bill. Pretty good.
Okay.
There's a Wasteland and now a Bowmaster. I should be able to deal with one of these Delvers if it resolves and then prevent Bill from cantripping for a little bit. Alright, Brainstorm pitching Delver. A little bit dangerous here with the fetch land open to a Waste and then Daze. Let's see how this goes.
I have 2 red. Cosmo Engineer.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I thought this was 8 count.
Okay, forces bat pitching Daze. Kills a Delver. And now waste the Volk. So wanting to get up on a mana. Delver doesn't flip.
Sure.
And then I will pass 2.
Flooded Strand number 2.
I'll go to 6.
Get 3 cards. 3, yes. Okay.
Play Galvamaya.
Yep. That's good.
Alright, the Daze works this time. Countering Bill's Bowmaster. Now a second Bowmaster for removing the Delver, and then an attack for 3. The Orc Army now a 2/2. Looks like a Murktide in hand for Mengucci and an Underground Sea.
Gonna move to combat.
Wasting and then casting DRC.
No.
1, 2.
No Delirium yet.
10 total.
Tap it over.
Alright, getting in there. Offering a trade with the DRC.
Yep.
Only 1 card in Bill's hand. Takes the trade. And here's Murktide Regent.
How big is that? It's gonna be the max. Okay, 6. Got it.
All right, game 1 goes to Mengucci. Murktide ends the game. Looks like a Molten Collapse in Mengucci's hand here. That'll be interesting. All right, turn 1 Delver for Bill. Very nice.
Time to test my fate again, see if this guy flips or not.
All right, Bill not feeling confident this Delver will flip. We'll see. Resetting life totals. Double Mishra's Bauble. All right, we didn't get to see it, but Andrea saw the card. Wasteland, pass.
I think he still got me.
No luck with flipping Delver.
Okay. Target me? You. Okay.
I thought you were Maverick for a bit. With just the knight. Yeah, yeah.
All right, trying to see Bill's top card of the deck once again.
Really good play by you, just going for it there. There's good timing for it. Yeah, it's trying to figure out what in that deck you have to like deal with the merit lodge. It's like you don't have the spell bomb, you don't have
Ponder.
the blue spell bomb, you don't have a whole lot. It's pretty rough. Yeah, exactly.
Sleeves are very slippery.
No, all good. Don't worry.
Just rough, yeah. And you can paint through then Power Blast lands.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, a Ponder shuffle for Mengucci.
Once it's there, it's very hard to stop. Before it's there,
We had
hit the needle maybe.
Delver mirrors a few times on stream recently, or maybe not Delver, but these like blue black X tempo decks facing off, Shadow, Scam, Grixis Delver, Teamer Delver, so on. And Rich Cali was in the chat for one of our recent live streams. I'm sure those of you watching later on YouTube may have caught this already, but we were talking about how the early turns of the game, trying to without going on like a whole 10-minute talk about this, going to prepare for future Murktides by your opponent and get under Bowmaster. And no lands on the board right now. It seems like Mengucci is falling behind fast.
Come out for a 6.
Without any capability to do any of that stuff.
And I hold, and I play a Ponder.
Okay.
Yeah, Mengucci was a visitor in New York. And jammed some games with us.
Let's tap this, sacrifice the value.
Go.
Just gonna get
Bill pulling quite a bit ahead. Another Wasteland would have been amazing there, but still in good shape.
We'll get an underground seed and cast counterbalance.
Counterbalance. Ouch. And a Surveil trigger, of course. Murktide into the graveyard. Bad sign for Mengucci. 6 life. Out of time. Pyroblast on Insectile Aberration. Let's see the counterbalance trigger. No.
so trigger.
All right, Delver down.
I'm going to cast
I don't know.
Force of Vigor, pitching the Reliquary to destroy the cross. 4 cards in hand? 4 cards,
Yeah, I guess.
Three.
Fury,
Okay.
Pyroblast.
Resolves, target this.
Yep.
All.
All right, Lightning Bolt ends the game. Bill takes game 2, going to game 3.
The channel.
Alright, I'll keep. Good luck. Yep. Yep.
All right, a mold of 6 for Bill. Flooded Strand fetch. This event was in Manhattan. All right, here's Dragon's Rage Channeler. There are 5 boroughs in New York City. One of them is Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. If you've been watching 90s MTG for a while, a lot of the events we've covered have been in Queens, but a shop in Manhattan started running legacy events called Bifrost Games, and that's where we're watching right now.
Block, it goes to exile.
Actually, I probably wouldn't block, just in case you have like another Fury, and I think the life doesn't probably matter, so I'm going to go to 16.
Thank you.
Also, if I block and it dies, it goes back in your graveyard, right?
No.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, when if it was like, if it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead?
If you unearth, it has to go to exile.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah, I would say
All right, Wasteland on Volcanic Island. Brainstorm and Response, Surveil. Left the card on top, looked like it was a fetch land, so Mengucci hoping to keep that. A Wasteland trigger is on the stack, or a Wasteland activation, I should say.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah,
I got 3 of them.
You're playing 3 and then, what is that? Oh, that's ensnaring.
Fisher's Bauble. Looked like the Underground Sea back on top.
Okay. And you can get, do you have everything here on the side too? Or,
Yep, I'll put it in the main.
All right, another Dragon's Rage Channeler for Mengucci, attack for 1.
yeah, you don't have 2, you have like 1 for card.
No. Well, I might do that.
Why are you 18?
I got attack last turn too, didn't I?
Oh, interesting. Okay. I just don't know.
If you have 2 City of Traders, you have 2 cards, you go down to 1 City of Traders.
So players have traded off Wasteland so far in this game. Okay, so Bill found another land. Daze is live basically for both players at the moment. Here's Blue Elemental Blast. That's successful.
It is nice for like surgical extraction, like, oh, I can get my combo back.
Yeah, exactly.
Thinking on Brainstorm.
Yeah.
18?
Yeah.
All right, looked like a Murktide was drawn off that Brainstorm. I was saying before about how these games are about getting under Bowmaster and making sure that you're prepared for a later in the game Murktide. If you don't have an answer for a Murktide, you're in trouble.
And then Brainstorm.
Looked at my hands like,
Brainstorm, Surveil, puts Ponder into the yard. That turns on Delirium, I believe. Creature, land, instant sorcery. Yep.
Man, that's tricky too. It's like, I don't know really when to wait. Because you can keep a Pyroblast if you're not tapping out, but as soon as you resolve the...
All right, so the clock speeds up a bit for Mengucci. Bill hoping for land drops and removal, I guess.
last showcase for Legacy.
Okay, step 1, make a land drop.
Play against Maverick, and I had enough to deal with 4 pieces of interaction. They had
5? Wait, so there's just like Source of Plowshares.
2 Source of Plowshares.
Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Bill also has Delirium. So this is a 3-3. Mengucci holding a Bolt. I think also a Daze and Murktide, if if I'm not mistaken.
4 goblins, so I could like recur it.
Oh, you have 4 goblins.
Mengucci has pulled Bolt to the front, so this DRC is unlikely to live very long. Ponder, Surveil. Is that getting dazed? Possibly. Nope. Let's resolve.
That was the 5 crit. You're going to 6-0 then?
That would have got me 6-0, and then I lost 3 matches.
It looked like Mengucci was thinking about it for a moment, but I guess not. Don't know that it really makes sense to there, but it's possible. All right, so we'll see if these Dragon's Rage channels were trade or if Mengucci will try to bolt this thing before attacks. All right, offering a trade.
Yeah, I have a
right,
sorcery. Yeah, I have a Cling to Dust. Oh, on the bubble.
Ooh, neat play here. So Cling to Dust on the Mishra's Bauble will remove Delirium after blocks. That's really neat.
Impasse.
Cling to Dust, exiling the Mishra's Bauble will remove Delirium for Bill and turn this Dragon's Rage Channeler into a chump blocker. So Mengucci will get to keep the Bolt for now and potentially escape Cling to Dust later, which could be relevant. Could be. This is a big play, though. Turning a Cling to Dust into a removal spell.
For Walter. 21.
21.
Actually is an important life total.
Oh, yeah. Very important.
All right, Dragon's Rage Channeler on Bill's side is a jump blocker. It dies.
Yeah, well, these, like, I'll show you. I'll show you after, because I'm maybe sideboarding against my first game.
I was just thinking they're good against Walters.
Yeah, they're good against Dragon. But I don't know. It didn't seem like is everyone favorites too, right? What?
Counterbalance now for Mengucci. I didn't see that one in hand either. All right, Daze successfully counters it.
Wasteland here. Grixis Saga.
Yeah, neat play.
Played out the Liberator and pass it.
Great question from Fourth Leaf. What cards make graveyard order matter? If you mean in these decks, the answer is none. There are no cards that make graveyard order matter, but there are cards that exist and are played in Legacy a little bit that care about graveyard order, like Shallow Grave, for example.
And play a
All right, Wastelands, the Underground Sea. Attacking for 3. Not having access to black could affect the likelihood of Bowmasters hitting the table, but Murktide is a big problem. And what we were talking about earlier in this match, does Bill now have a way to deal with Murktide, or is this game over immediately?
4 counters. Resolve.
All right, 7/7 Murktide resolves.
I'll snuff out targeting this.
Okay, snuff out targeting Murktide. It resolves. So Bill had an answer for it. Getting to live another day.
3 cards?
Yes.
It sounds like 2 cards in Mengucci's hand. No, 3 cards. Maybe a Murktide for Bill on the way. No.
But you need, obviously,
All right, a Ponder for Bill. Hoping to find a way to remove this Dragon's Rage Channeler, I guess. Bill now down to 7. Sorry, I keep being a little bit delayed on updating the overlay.
can sit here for 45 minutes. Because you have as many rules
Tap this the results. Yeah.
All right, passing the turn. Dragon's Rage Channeler will get another opportunity to attack. Looked like Mengucci drew off Spell Pierce, which could be pretty good.
Tap this for.
And Mengucci's still holding the bolt, I believe, right? Murktide. This complicates things.
For 5. Yeah, for the blue and dates.
What's the last level?
What's that?
Yeah, my magic is the last level.
Oh, you might be surprised.
Got it. Yes.
Ooh, fetch down to 3, gets bolted to end the game. Ouch. I didn't even see that. Like, as it was playing out, I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, it's over. All right, I'm to 6 so far for Paulo. Let's see if we keep here. It looks like Molten Collapse is in Mengucci's hand as well. And Cling to Dust. We saw how good Cling to Dust was in previous rounds. All right, 1 card on the bottom. Looks like we're ready to go. Misty Rainforest, fetch. Getting a Volk. Mishra's Bauble, and then a Ponder. Okay. Dragon's Rage Channeler on top of Mengucci's deck. Pass the turn. Okay, it doesn't cast a Dragon's Rage Channeler right away. Playing around days, I guess. Delver pass. No second land drop. Okay, an end step Brainstorm. It looks like. Some of you were watching earlier. We've had a couple of Delver matches on today's stream, and we were talking about how in these blue tempo mirrors of sorts we get between Grixis Delver, Teamer Delver, Blue-Black Scam, Blue-Black Shadow, and so on. In current Legacy, we're seeing plays like this, early Brainstorms to get under your opponent's Bowmasters and prepare for late game Murktides is the short version of it all. All right, Bolt revealed. Delver flips. Okay, fetching here. Gets another Volk.
Passi?
Sì.
Fine turno ti vorrei esiliare la Mishra, la Blood Mishra. Questa è una carta.
Alright, so Cling to Dust on end step, targeting Mishra's Bauble. That could prevent Delirium later on. Dragon's Rage Channeler in there. Or at least it seems like it. Maybe not. Nope, it resolves. Ponder Surveil. Bolt double Brainstorm. Kept it exactly the way it is. This bolt will be able to remove insectile aberration potentially. You have a happy 30th birthday from Mengucci coming in the chat. I feel old. So a bolt removes Mengucci's Dragon's Rage Channeler. Ooh, force pitching force on Brainstorm.
Okay. Okay.
Bolts on the insectile aberration. We kind of saw that coming. Force pitching Murktide. Wow. And it's getting dazed. Insectile aberration is gone. So firing off Force of Will on Brainstorm and then forcing Bolt, losing the counter war to Daze, losing a copy of Murktide. I don't know if Paulo's holding another copy, but doesn't have 2 blue mana currently. The hand looks like it's just 1 card right now for Paulo. Does have Delirium. So these Dragon's Rage Channelers could potentially trade. But it seems like Paulo is quite a bit behind. Offering an opportunity to trade. Now Molten Collapse removes this thing. Yeah, Mengucci jumping way ahead here. Now a Delver. Brainstorm now for Paulo. Is there a land in there? It looks like Mengucci has used 1 Wasteland in this game so far. A second one would be just game ending here, I think. If this Brainstorm didn't find a land. Yes, let's keep an eye out for Mengucci's Delver flip technique. That will be useful information for testing for future Magic tournaments, I would say. No flip. All right, attack you for 4. Okay, so Paulo did find a land, the basic iron. Dragon's Rage Channeler pass. Okay, Ponder revealed on top for Mengucci. Flip into Insectile Aberration. Paulo has Delirium. Unsure if Cling to Dust changes that. We'll see. Okay, no blocks. Go down to 3. Now Ponder, Surveil. Okay, left Brazen Borrower on top. Pass the turn. Ooh, Bowmaster in response to Brainstorm. And that ends game 1. All right, Mengucci takes game 1. All right, 1 card on the bottom for Paulo, another Multi 6. And looks like we're ready to go. Volcanic Island, Ponder. Chronomatan, thank you for the resub. 2 months. That's a new badge. Appreciate it.
È tipo il Delta Inquinato è una carta che c'ha un sacco di rimorsi perché l'ho comprato Judge.
So, fetching here, Polluted Delta,
Adesso Judge non vuole più nessuno, 200
an
euro.
early Wasteland.
Normale, dico inglese. Sta tipo
I'm assuming Mengucci has colored lands to follow up.
stavano uguali, stavano 200 entrambi.
Is Multi-Collapse standard tech in Grixis decks? We have a few local Grixis players testing it in Delver right now. That's the most I know. I don't keep track of MTGO at this point at all. I just don't even look at events. I don't even click on events anymore to look at the results.
Leggibile da tutti. Vabbè.
All right, Delver of Secrets for Paulo.
Faccio una bolla su di me.
Mrs. Bob will take a look at what I have. Don't like it, Mr. Rainforest, correct. There's a Molten Collapse on the bottom of the library. Do we have anyone watching right now that's been testing Molten Collapse in Grixis or any other legacy decks? Is it the real deal? Is it being underplayed, underappreciated, underrespected right now? Or is the card garbage and nobody should bother playing it? Or are you somewhere in between? Does anybody have a take on that? Pew Pew thinks as a one of it's really good. The Dragon's Rage Channeler for Paulo. Wasting. Okay. Dave Kaplan says testing Collapse. Think you could cut Borrower for it. Yeah, I think Dave Kaplan, myself, Reed Duke, and someone else were talking about Brazen Borrower in flex slots for Delver right now. Brazen Borrower, there's just not a lot of Marit Lage around these days, and bouncing your opponent's Murktide is great, but maybe Molten Collapse is better. And if you look at Reed's list he posted on Twitter recently, there are multiple copies of Molten Collapse, I believe. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it seems high on the card. So Brazen Borrower, back to Dave Kaplan's comment, getting replaced by Molten Collapse, it seems. For some Grixis players, anyway. Paulo getting a bit ahead here. He needs to flip these Delvers. All right, here's a Brainstorm for Mengucci. Yeah, Molten is a sorcery, which is a big deal. No flip of the Delvers. There's a basic island. Okay, getting these Brainstorms out of the way. Borrow a Scarab Swarm. Possibly. All right, 2 cards back on top. Does Paulo have Delirium? It does not look like it, no. Just instant land sorcery in the yard. Mengucci has 3 creatures to deal with. Counterbalance and Mishra's Bauble and an Underground Siege drawn. Those cards are not going to be exciting. It looked like Counterbalance got put back. Mishra's Bauble gets played. It looks like Mengucci has 2 bolts in hand, though. A Wasteland for Paulo could be pretty good here. All right. Mengucci scoops it up, seeing what I assume is a flip Delver happening next turn. One card on the bottom for Paulo again. Flooded Strand to start for Mengucci. Turn 1 Delver. Force pitching Brainstorm to protect a turn 1 Delver from Bolt. The Brainstorm should also be in exile, but that's okay. I'm not sure. Wasteland on Volk. Ponder for Mengucci. And Delver didn't flip. Ouch. Underground Sea. Another Delver. Okay. So maybe trying to protect what could potentially become a fast clock here. Mengucci knows the top card of the deck now. Gonna draw 2. Has a Wasteland. Might fire it off. Yeah, that makes sense. Now a Delver that could potentially play defense. No flip. Okay, this is this has been quite a game so far. I don't know if everybody watching is paying close attention, but I am, and this has been interesting. You're paying attention, right, people? Both players with no lands and Delvers that haven't flipped. Well, Mengucci played a land, but Force of Will revealed, and now Paulo has 2 flip Delvers, and this could get ugly for Mengucci. And we'll see if that early Force of Will that I was skeptical about wins Paulo the game. It's very possible. Okay, so a Brainstorm to potentially set up a flip for Mengucci, which could either present a defensive Insectile Aberration or remove 1 and get on the offense. It looks like found a Volk, which turns on Bolt in hand. Mengucci also still has Force in hand. Paulo has a Force as well. Does Paulo have a blue card to fetch? It looks like it. It looks like a Murktide and a DRC are the 2 other cards in Paulo's hand. All right, set up the flip. Plays the Volk. Mengucci is holding Hydroblast as well. All right, here's a Ponder. Doesn't need to worry about days this turn because Paulo has no lands. Mengucci was on the play. Draws a daze off the Ponder. So there's a chance that... Okay, so Paulo... All right. We're moving faster than I can think in some way here. Polluted Delta correct. Paulo found a land. There it is. I was going to say there's a chance that Mengucci's on a full 4 dazes and Paulo's not. With Mengucci on the draw here in Game 3. It's possible. I assume you're just going to attacks. Present an opportunity to trade. Bolt before attacks. Force, pitch, Murktide. Yeah, Mengucci bolting with the fetch on the stack to unlock days might have been pretty good there. Mishra's Bauble. Takes a look at the top card of Paulo's deck. Pass, draw. Paulo didn't offer a trade. Kept back the Insectile Aberrations last turn. Looks like Mengucci drew a Bowmaster. Scary. Oh no! Oh man.
No, sparo dietro.
Ah, sparo.
Oh. All right. So a bowmaster is going to hit an insectile aberration. Now, after brainstorm resolves, we're going to deal 3 more damage and remove both delvers in the process here. Okay, we're doing this a little bit out of order because brainstorm has not yet resolved, but I think, yeah, that's happening no matter what. Oh man, that was brutal. Brutal is the right word. A blowout. Mengucci also just drew that as well and had Days backup. That might have lost Paulo this game. Now an attack for 8, putting Paulo down to 9. This game is over. Dragon's Rage Channeler will resolve. Mengucci has that Hydro Blast pulled to the front of the stack. Okay, wasted the... okay, so all right, a waste and then Hydro Blast removes Dragon's Rage Channeler, and Paulo has seen enough, scoops it up. Good games. Yeah, that was really risky to cast that Brainstorm there.
I don't think any of the cards in my deck.
Okay, game. The game.
All right, so Mengucci back on the left with Grixis Delver, and across is Initiative. That would be Andy. Fetching a Volcanic Island to start, and Dragon's Rage Channeler. And there's a little bit of glare on the phone, so I'll have a second. I'll put the life totals a second time on our overlays for anybody that's having trouble seeing that. All right, so Mishra's Bauble takes a look and passes turn.
Oh, yes. Attempt to cast Chrome Mox.
Chrome Mox is in there.
Also happy to have
4th year Lingus imprinted, so it makes red or white. Very nice.
When we start getting the cards past that,
You can write your...
okay. You want me to keep track? Thank you.
No, you can write if you want, sure.
Attempt to cast Chalice for 1.
Chalice on 1.
Makes sense.
Force Pitch Brainstorm, Serval.
Put in the graveyard.
Sure. At least from the casino?
Puts a force into the graveyard.
Alright, like they have an over. They advertise this. Advertise. That's why they put the
One damage.
lettering on it. Just to pretty nice.
So wasting the Ancient Tomb is pretty good for Mengucci. Attacking the mana of these initiative decks is a good strategy. City of Traders.
Attempt to cast Archon.
Archon of Emeria. It's in there. And it's pretty annoying.
1, 2. Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe now it is.
Yep.
This is Molten Collapse. It's a sorcery.
Okay, Molten Collapse put into the graveyard. Ponder put into the graveyard. Attack for 6.
11. At least the other decks I play generally new.
Going to be tricky for Andy to take the initiative in this game, facing down 2 3/3 DRCs. We know this deck runs Solitude, sometimes Fury, sometimes Source of Plowshare, sometimes Shuts of Spirit Realm, etc.
Human.
Human for Cavern.
That would be still my play.
Cast Venture.
All right, Caves of Chaos Adventurer comes in. There is a printout of the. Oh my.
I'll search for a planes.
Never seen anyone do it.
I never seen anyone do it either. I'm with you.
So,
I think Mengucci is as shocked as I am.
play the land, go.
I'll ball myself.
Sure.
Yeah, that's how you take the initiative. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. On top.
Should we just end the stream now? Does anybody? Do we have anybody voting for ending the stream right now, right this minute? Or are we okay?
Nice.
Take two.
These are great ringers.
It's all crumpled too. Oh my god.
Yeah. Thinking what to do.
Okay, Roland's in the chat. Roland, how are you feeling about this piece of paper with the initiative printed on it?
What to do?
Lightning bolt. Two. Let me see what you're about. Dark ritual out.
A bubble.
What
Drop
is
it.
this thing here?
I mill for 3. Sorry. I mill for 3. And then I return a creature from the graveyard to 6.
All right, attacking for 6. Archon of Emeria could potentially chump block here.
5.
Okay. So at 5, I'll take the. Yeah. I'll.
All right, it sounds like Roland's going to try and handle this whole situation. Maybe hook up Andy with an initiative card. Okay, Mengucci searches the deck and realizes there's no island. Oh, man. This stream is a disaster, everybody. All right, here's Volcanic Island, DRC. Number 3. That's pretty good.
All these cards are worthless.
So Andy could attack with Caves of Chaos Adventure and take the initiative here. Let's see what is revealed with its ability. Simian Spirit Guide. Not that exciting.
13.
I could force you to fetch it over here if you want to.
I'll go into the forge.
No blocks. Goes into the Forge. Secures this Archon of Emeria.
2 every upkeep,
Or
and we can't gain life.
gives it 2+2+. Gives it +2/+2, so it can now block profitably on DRCs.
My turn. I'll take 2.
But Andy is at 5, so we're going to need to remove one of these.
10. 19.
Yeah, Roland is absolutely right. Andy does have a really nice collection. Yeah. All right, swing in with these 3 channelers. Does Andy have Touch of Spirit Realm or something? Nope, the game just ends. With Delirium, they had to attack, and that's what they did. The game is over.
Okay, trigger. Shield trigger.
Hype Train complete, 3 subs. Thank you, everybody. 50 bits as well. All right, Ancient Tomb, Petal. Magus of the Moon.
Trigger.
18.
Mountain.
All right, Dragon's Rage Channeler for Mengucci. Very nice. Ooh, looks like there's a bolt in hand as well.
Trigger again.
Attempt to cast Chromox. Results.
Go for the throat. What is this?
Chrome Mox pitching Touch the Spirit Realm. Key card in the deck.
Good point. Go.
I'll take 2.
Okay, for a moment forgot about the moon, but that's okay.
You fetch twice.
Now it's on.
I go to 15.
Okay, Bolt Cervelle on his own upkeep. Wasteland on Ancient Tomb. Pretty damn good turn there.
That's a problem. Go. Human.
Yes.
You're go.
I'm not sure why Mengucci's down to 18. I don't know.
Okay.
Alright. That goes your hand.
No, just up. Is that on?
Yeah.
Ah, the Magus attacked. Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Sulfuric Vortex.
You're at 2. Okay.
Yeah, it's very far.
2 types in Mengucci's yard.
Yep. Go.
I like this one.
My turn.
Yeah.
Go for 11.
That's a plateau. Sack the petal. What do we got? Archon of Emeria.
Give me 1 second. I need to do mathematics.
All right, making sure this underground sea comes in untapped, at least. Bowmaster in response. Yeah, nobody has taken the initiative in this game. That's not relevant right now. Brainstorm Surveil. Leave it on top. It was a bolt, which is pretty good. Can't cast another spell this turn, though. Still only 2 types in the yard.
Play a swamp. I'll keep white blow. For all intents and purposes, it's unblockable. Anything that goes into your graveyard gets exiled, and I can.
Could potentially attack with Bowmaster to put a 3rd type in, but I don't know if that's necessary here. Actually, with Fable and the Mirror Breaker in the deck, most likely, it's fine to keep Bowmaster on the board. There's no rush here, especially since Mengucci has a bolt to remove this Archon of Emeria right now. Surveil could potentially turn Delirium on. Puts a Ponder into the yard, 3 types.
Yeah, go ahead. Go to 7.
And ready for attacks.
Sure.
2 cards.
Wasteland.
That's a wasteland?
Andy down to 12.
Go.
And I'll play ball.
Yeah.
Brazen Borrower gets flashed in. This is a lot of power on the board now. And evasive creatures. Oh, Molten Collapse on the Chromox. That gets a scoop. Yeah, Andy is just way, way behind. Good games. Good games.